Hello everybody, it's Lorraine Alternative Homesteading on October 21, 2025. I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome back to the channel and thank you for subscribing. And remember to hit the notifications bell so you can receive notifications. So I'm going to read, let's see, I think it's about 2 pages long. It's entitled FBI Fusion Center, How They Set Up Their Fake Targets by Karen Melton Stewart, retired NSA intelligence analyst. And this is a flyer that Karen sent me. She sent me like, I don't know, a couple dozen flyers. I think it was around 2018. So here we go. FBI Fusion Center Fraud. How they set up their fake targets on the fraud watch list for profit. So here's what you do. You take out a quote-unquote contract from a quote-unquote partner, like a corrupted federal agency, a criminal retired federal manager, an MIC, which is military industrial complex, contractor like Lockheed Martin, or anyone with money and connections. There are 2 classes of victims. One is personal. They will put out a vengeance for hire contract on a whistleblower, a competitor, an ex-wife, etc., or a general victim. They will cull out vulnerable random people to fulfill non-consensual bioexperiments, transhumanist experiments, medical chip experiments, requirements the military, MIC, and biolabs, which are the predator class, says it needs. The more threats, the bigger the federal and state budget. Study the intended victims' backgrounds, exaggerate or just fabricate some suspicious activity reports to create a fraudulent FISA court request for a quote-unquote surveillance warrant. Replace the surveillance equipment with high-tech weapons. The FISA court will pretend it does not know the difference. Renew the warrant endlessly on feeble grounds for the life of the target. No prosecution intended, or the intended fraud would be revealed, and all targets must be discredited and die to get rid of witnesses. Prime the innocent target, or also known as a scapegoat, by covertly injecting them with a GPS chip, 3 triangulation chips for constant brain targeting, various medical chips to degrade their physical health, and nanotech to enhance the suffering and damage the electromagnetic weapons cause going through them. Covert pre-targeting insertion methods. A. Knock the victim out. They can utilize frequencies or gas or drugs in food, enter the house, insert the chip or tech. B. Hijack opportunistic medical procedures with a Department of Homeland Security friendly sellout doctors. C. Cause an accident or a medical emergency to get a specific target into a DHS friendly hospital. Raytheon's Ravenclaw device can target any organ by frequency. It can mimic a kidney stone episode, get nano secretly into the victim via an IV, supposedly for pain. Prepare the victim's neighborhood. Send FBI Fusion Center officials, it can be law enforcement, to fear and hate monger among neighbors first. Later throughout the town, they fabricate a story about how very dangerous the intended victim is. Despite no real indications of such ever, fabricate a story, a false dossier, about how authorities can't quite get enough evidence on the person to follow due process and publicly prosecute him or her. So they will sidestep the Constitution to opt for 24/7 rotating stalking harassment with the use of secret high-tech weapons to slow kill, murder him or her in such a way it looks like natural causes or it's presented that way by corrupt coroners. Problem solved. No mess, no fuss. According to the authorities, who are actually covering up for other covert authorities by secretly murdering, deleting witnesses and victims under the color of law. Of course, there's a monetary incentive. If that claim of authority does not convince civilians to help or just stay quiet, monetary incentives are available to a line of sight neighbor to aim weapons at the target 24/7, vehicular stalkers on standby to follow him or her driving or running errands or visiting friends and family to hit him or her with a car-based weapons during the drive, also hitting others around him as collateral damage, to hit the location he or she's in with 3 cars, triangulating weapons into the location, be it a doctor's office, a store, school, daycare, friends or family members' homes. Collateral damage is of no concern, of course. Weapons can stop pacemakers, cause strokes, and otherwise harm others in delicate health if exposed long enough. And passive stalkers, see below. Threats. If monetary incentives, gift cards, services, products, or even illicit drugs, etc., are not enough to buy off civilians, threats of arrest or talking about the quote-unquote secret operations are made. Same with professionals like doctors, nurses, real estate brokers, car mechanics, etc., who are persuaded to do less than a competent job for such a target, so the person is always sabotaged. And that's what they've done here in Jackson County, Kentucky with my property. Whenever I list it for sale, they go behind my back to the real estate agent and convince them to not sell my property or market it. And then they intercept all the phone calls of people who are interested in the property. Active and passive stalkers. Active stalkers are put on schedules and paid gift cards accordingly. But passive stalkers know they will receive $100 citing confirmation credit on their account on an app affiliated with Neighborhood Watch and or the State Fusion Center hosted by GitHub. Civilians can earn extra by setting up the target either by provoking an incident to report to the police, falsely reporting an incident as occurring but did not occur, which is a fake witness, false witness, or causing a car accident, harming a pet, etc. Often the nastier harassment is given to those with criminal histories. They may earn gift cards, recreational drugs, or get leniency from previous crimes. There you have the targeted individual program, also known as the Watchlist scam in a nutshell. Corrupt officials framing and creating non-existent terrorist threats out of people they are supposed to protect, simultaneously training a secret psychopath army hidden in society to torture and delete decent law-abiding Americans for fraudulently attained and money-laundered tax dollars for a fraudulent police state. Oh, and it has been reported that there is a kill bonus payoff on any target. Suicide apparently is highly coveted result. This all will have to be part of a state-by-state national audit and investigation of everyone affiliated with the Department of Homeland Security, FBI fusion centers, and their affiliates and minions. Insurrection, sedition, treason will be the main focus, along with human trafficking, conspiracy to torture, and conspiracy to murder. Defund and audit the DHS FBI fusion centers now. False claims of classification, Homeland Security concerns, made merely to hide criminal activities, are a federal felony. So there you have it, folks. The FBI Fusion Center fraud. by Karen Stewart. And she should know a thing or two because she worked for the NSA. So anyway, leave a comment down below if you knew this about the fusion centers and how they go into your communities, and that there are two classes of victims, personal, paid for hire, revenge for hire, vengeance for hire, a whistleblower, competitor, ex-wife, or just targeting vulnerable people. All the women out there that live alone, that own homes that they want to steal, etc. I look forward to questions and comments down below. I hope everybody's doing well. Remember to hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel grow and get the message out there.